Welcome to the introductory session on internal quality auditing. Internal quality auditing is a management tool to assess the effectiveness of the quality practices implemented in an organization. The establishment of a quality system in an organization is a disciplined effort and it calls for high commitment. Internal quality audits are generally used to ensure the adequacy of the quality system in the changing scenario of the organization. It also ensures that the quality system is effectively implemented and is operating in the way it has been designed to perform. This is check part of the plan, do, check, act model. Check is the internal quality auditing part. Generally, the quality audits are documented in the form of a procedure. The procedure details the frequency of the internal quality audits conducted in the organization, the procedure of planning, scheduling, and conducting internal quality audits, and the methods of reporting and the findings of the internal quality audits are also documented. The qualification of internal auditors used by the organization for conducting the quality audits is also listed. There are a couple of things an organization has to ensure. One is the objectivity and two, the impartiality. Objectivity is doing the audit for the purpose it is done, and impartiality is not being partial on any of the findings. To ensure objectivity and impartiality, no auditor would, that is, no implementer would audit their own area, even if they are internal auditors. The system of ensuring that appropriate and adequate corrective action are instituted on the non-conformities observed during internal quality audits. The internal auditors that conduct internal audits need to be trained on the requirements of the standard. Here it is the ISO 9001-2015, and also they should be familiar with the techniques of quality auditing, which is given by ISO 19011-2018. Prior to the starting of audit, the auditors must thoroughly understand the quality system of the organization, and also they should have all the ideas about the documentation that may be required for example, work instruction. And whenever they go, they probably could go through a procedure or work instruction for that area and look at the records. Since the audit are independent, systematic, independent and documented process, the documentation includes an audit schedule and an audit plan. The audit schedule is the technically a list of audits that are to be conducted in a period, let's say 6 months or 1 year. And the audit plan is for a particular audit, which areas are to be audited by whom, and who will be the process owner, and what will be the time allocated for that will generally be part of the audit plan. Some organizations do retain a list of internal auditors that are qualified to perform the audits with their qualification and experience. And it is ensured that in the audit plan, it is allocated in such a way that experienced auditors look into complex areas, whereas auditors who are just budding, they will be looking at the peripherals. There are instances in which an organization wants to derive the maximum benefit out of internal quality audits, and they appoint auditors from outside. Some external auditors are asked to perform the internal audit on behalf of the organization. This is also allowed, but this has to be documented in the procedure. Some of the internal auditors use audit checklist to ensure that all the requirements or the check items, check and balances are covered and they do not miss any points. This checklist serves as a memory aid memory for all the auditors who use them, and also they ensure that the findings are also recorded on the checklist itself. But remember, the checklist is only a memory aid, and auditors have to follow the audit trail and ensure that the audit is taken based on the objective evidences obtained and how the audit trail pans out. The audit schedule may also be slightly adjusted in the light of findings and how the audit trails progresses and the time consumed for objectively auditing a process. Since the quality management system is a documented management system, the reports of the audits are to be documented in the form of audit reports. Whatever meets the requirement during an audit is conformance, and what does not meet a requirement is a non-conformance or a non-conformity, which is called as NC. Non-conformance report is also shared with the auditees to ensure that the immediate action or the correction is carried out. The root cause or root causes is identified through a standardized method, and then the corrective action are taken for all the identified root cause or the causes. The remedial action and the corrective action are verified by the auditor, and the non-conformity report is closed by the auditor. The auditee works on the root causes, correction and corrective action, and submit them to the auditors, who ultimately verify the effectiveness of how the corrective action is. Sometimes it may not be exactly the corrective action, but the corrective action plan may be verified and may be closed by the auditor. The ISO standards, especially the quality management system, is a generic standard, and therefore the auditors need to have a clear interpretation of the standard to audit them successfully. I'm sure you have got now a fair idea about how internal quality audits are performed. Are you ready to be an auditor? Come, let's do internal quality audit.